Good morning friends and welcome to this CSAT discussion video for the year 2025. What we'll be doing in this particular video is we'll be discussing about the CSAT paper, only the Quants and the reasoning part. We won't be touching into comprehension. So by the end of this, you will be having a good idea about what exactly will be the answer and where exactly you will be standing in terms of your mark. Okay, I'll be following code B. So don't worry in case you're following any other code, that doesn't matter. The corresponding question number will be given as I'm discussing a particular code. So for example, if your code C and your question number is 15, corresponding to what I am discussing, question number 5, that will correspond, that I'll be showing you the other ones also. Apart from that, there will be a timestamp over here in this particular video. So in case you want to skip to any particular question, you can do so. Okay, don't have to follow along the entire video. And apart from that, just after this, there will be a small chart in terms of what code you got and what question it corresponds to. So if I'm discussing question number 45 and you want one particular question, you can look at the corresponding number of your question and skip to that particular section that you want. Okay, so without further ado, we'll start with our discussion. Okay, so we'll start out with the question number 5 in code B. Again, you can follow along based on what code or what question it corresponds to. Okay, so question number 5, what is the maximum value of n such that 7 into 343 into 385 into 1000 into 2401 into 7 5 times is divisible by 35 to the power of n. Okay, so to solve this question, what we need to do is to find out, okay, let me give you an example. So if we say a number 70 and we have to find out divisibility by 35 to the power of how much. Okay, how we need to do this is 70, if we are writing the factors of 70, we can write it as 2, 35, 5 and 7. So factors of 70 will be 2 into 5 into 7, right? And 35 can be written as 5 into 7. Okay, so to what power does this need to be raised to divide 70? It will be 1. How we get 1 is in 70 we have to find out the number of 5 and 7 pairs. So here 5 and 7 pairs, there is only 1 pair. Okay, so we know that 35 raised to the power of 1 into whatever is remaining 2 will be divisible by 70, or 70 can divide 35 can divide 70. Okay, so this is the trick we need to follow. Don't get too scared about the number of numbers that are there. Just find the number of 5 and 7 pairs in that particular sequence. Okay, now we can either do 7 pairs separately, 5 pairs separately, or we can find out what is the least number. So for example, if we are having 7 repeating say 4 times in this particular sequence, but we have 5 repeating only 2 times, that means only 2 pairs is possible and our answer will be 2. We don't have to worry about whatever is remaining here. So find out the least number in this particular sequence, that will be your answer. So I'll give you an illustration. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll write down all the numbers. 7 into 343 into 385 into 1000 into 2401 into 7 5 times. Now I'm pretty sure that 7 will divide 343, 7 will divide 1, 7 will divide this, 7 will divide this, 7 will divide this. But we'll find out the number of 5 pairs. So we know that 1000 or any number with 0, that is tens, can be written as 5 into 2. 5 into 2 will give you 10. So 5 into 2 into 5 into 2 into 5 into 2 will give you 1000. So already from this we'll have 3 5s. Here as well 5 is remaining, 5 is divisible, right? Divisibility of 5 is the last number should be either 0 or 5. So we know that only these two will be divisible by 5. So 385 can be written as 5 sevens are 35, 35, 5 sevens are 35, and 0. So 5 into 77. Again, this will divide 7. But 1 5 we can get from here. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 5s are there. Is there any other possibility of 5? No. We don't have to worry about 7. Look at the options. The answer will be B, 4. That means 35 raised to the power of 4 will divide this particular number. Okay, that is one simple trick to get the answer. Now we'll move on to the sixth question in code B. Okay, question number 6. What is x in the sequence 24, x, 12, 18, 36 and 90? So again, we'll write down all the numbers. Okay, so one thing you will realize from this question paper is, right, although it seems difficult, if you had gone through the past 5 to 10 years of PYQs, you could have solved this particular question paper in some way or the other. This question is repeated, okay, in some form or the other, the same sequence is repeated. Okay, so we'll get to the question, how do we solve this? Fine, just let us look at the numbers and try to find some kind of familiarity. Okay, we know that 18 and 36 have some relationship. So 18 into 2 will give you 36. Okay, fine. So 6 1s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18. So there has to be some relationship between 12 and 18. So we can write 12 into 1.5 will give you 18, right? So if you calculate, you will get 12 into 1.5 is 18. So this differs by 0.5. So let us try it again over here and see whether that logic works. So 1.5, 2 and 2.5. So 36 into 2.5, you get 990. So the same logic works. So the same thing, we'll have to repeat it and see whether it works here. So this will be into 1, this will be into 0.5. So 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. So 24 into 0.5 or 24 divided by 2 will give you 12. 12 into 1 will give you 12. 12 into 1.5, 18. This logic works. Okay, so the answer will be B, 12. Moving on to the seventh question. Okay, seventh question, it says P and Q walk along a circular path. They start at 5 a.m. from the same point in the opposite directions. P walks at an average speed of 5 rounds per hour and Q walks at an average speed of 3 rounds per hour. How many times will they cross each other between 5:20 and 7 a.m.? Okay, I'm pretty sure there are many ways of solving it, but I particularly like to do in a logical sequence. So I'll show you how I do it. Okay, this is your circular track. This is P, this is Q. P is moving in this direction, Q is moving in this direction. And P travels at 5 rounds per hour. Q at 3 rounds per hour. Is that all the question? Yeah. And they're starting at 5 a.m. Okay, so what people do is when they see this question, they think we need to equate the number of rounds. That is not the case. Since it is measure of amount of distance covered per unit of time, we need to equate it in terms of hours, not or in terms of time, not in terms of the distance or the amount of rounds that you take. Okay, so let's say we'll take P for P's instance. It covers 5 rounds in 1 hour. So let us say that if I take for 1/4 of an hour, how long will it take? It will be 5 divided by 4, which is 1.25. Same thing with Q. So let us take for Q, If it's 3 rounds in 1 hour, one fourth of that, again, one fourth is 15 minutes. It will cover 3 divided by 4, which is equal to 0.75. Okay, so already in this you will see P would have finished 1 round and then again 1/4 of that. Q would have finished 3/4 of 1 round. So they already have passed each other once before. So let us divide it again further. So if it is in 7.5 minutes, it will be again half of this, which is equal to 625. Okay, so that means in 7.5 minutes, when Q moves this way, it would have covered 3.75 of 1 round. P would have covered 6.25 of 1 round. So if you add 6.625 and 0.375, you will get 1. So we know that at 7.5 minutes or every 7.5 minutes they'll meet once. Okay, so now let us chart this out. If we chart it out, we'll get, so at 5 o'clock they start and they move in opposite directions. So 5:07.5 they'll meet for the first time. 5:15 they'll meet for the second time. 5:22.5 they'll meet for the third time. 5:30 they'll meet. 5:37.5. 5:45. And 6. Okay, so these are the different times in which they meet. They are asking between how many times will they cross each other between 5:20 and 7 a.m. So 5:20 means first 3 will be eliminated. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so there is a confusion whether it is 13 or 14. The answer will be 14 because in this question they have not specified whether 7 a.m. So normally when they are giving any time period, they will say 5:20 to 7 a.m. not including 7 a.m. and 5:20 or including 5:20 and 7 a.m. Since they have not given any of that in this question, it is perfectly alright to include both these times. If you count that, you will get 14. Some answer keys give you 13, but I personally believe that answer will be 14. Okay. Again, just to reiterate, this is one example where in past attempts, UPSC would give you options that are very distinct, meaning that you can get the answer for certain. Whether you are good at quants or not good at quants, you can get the answer by some level of elimination. But here, even that is eliminated because, see, the numbers are very close to each other, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there is no possibility of getting this answer unless you do this entire process. That means more time, that is more time spent, less number of questions attempted. That is one of the reasons why I believe that this paper is quite tough, and in addition to that, there are less number of reasoning questions, and because of which I believe that the cutoff for the general studies paper will further come down. Right now it is pegged at between 78 to 82. Again, I personally believe that it might come down even further. So don't worry if you are on the on cat on the wall situation in GS, start preparing for means. Okay, don't worry too much about this. There might be some level of consideration because of the CSAT paper and these kind of questions. Okay, we'll go on to question number 8 in our code. Okay, so question number 8 is saying if P is equal to plus, Q is equal to minus, R is equal to, okay, so I'll just write down these. P is equal to plus, Q is minus, R is into, S is division. Okay, we got that out of the way. And you have these numbers 60, 15, 3, 20, and 4. And different, each of these arithmetic symbols should be calculated and your answer should be equal to 20. Okay, so this is again by trial and error. We'll have to check and see. Answer will be B. Okay, so on the B will be nothing but Q, R, P, and S. Q corresponds to minus, R corresponds to multiplication, P corresponds to addition, and S corresponds to division. Okay, BODMAS rule, do division and multiplication first, then do addition and subtraction. So 20 by 4 will give you 5, 15, 15 and 3 will give you 45, right? Bring the negative sign also, 60 minus 45 plus 5. Okay, then subtraction and then addition, 60 minus 45 will give you 15 plus 5 will give you 20. That is the answer you are getting. So this is your answer. Answer will be B. Okay, we'll go to the next question, question number 9. Okay, question number 9, it says a tram overtakes two persons X and Y walking at an average speed of 3 kilometers per hour and 4 kilometers per hour. Okay, two people are there, X, Y. X is moving 3 kilometer per hour, Y is moving 4 kilometer per hour. They are moving in the same direction as the tram. It passes them in 8 seconds and 9 seconds respectively. What is the length of the tram? Okay, so if you've done train problems, you'll know that the length of the train or the tram is equal to the distance covered by this particular instance. So speed, distance and time, same thing. In terms of distance, you have to correspond, you have to take it as the length of the train. And since you are taking two people, they don't have a necessary length. So if you're taking two trains crossing each other, either in the same direction or in the opposite direction, you're taking the length of both the trains as distance. You add both the lengths to give you the distance. Here, it's a negligible distance, so we don't consider this. The length of the tram will be equal to the distance covered. So we'll take the tram and X concurrently in one instance. So distance is equal to speed into time. One thing to consider is speed is given in kilometers per hour, time is given in seconds in both cases. So we need to convert, go back to the options and see all the options is in meters. So convert kilometer per hour into meter per second and then solve it. Okay. So here we're taking for X, we'll get speed is equal to 3. Now remember, you are taking the distance, speed and time of two objects in relation with each other. So tram is moving in this direction, X is moving in this direction. Since both of them are moving in the same direction, the relative speed will be less. So that is, if this is say X, okay, if the speed of the train is X kilometer per hour and the relative speed will be X minus 3. Okay, you would have also seen these kind of examples, right? So when you go to the rail, when you are going by train, when the two trains are passing each other, if they are passing in the same direction, then it looks like the train beside you is going much slower, but both of you are in motion in the same direction. If a train is passing in the opposite direction, the speed will look as if it's double the speed or much higher than what it actually is. So if it's in opposite directions, you add the speeds. If it is in the same direction, you subtract the greater from the lesser one. So the greater speed will be the speed of the tram, the lesser will be the speed of the person. So it will be x minus 3. Again, this is in kilometer per hour. To convert to meter per second, you do 5 by 18 into 8. Okay, we will leave this for now. Now we'll take in terms of y. Again, distance is equal to speed into time. Here we'll get same logic, x minus 9 into 5 by 18 into time taken is 9 seconds. Now here distance for both is length of the train. Okay, so we can equate these two. This d will be equal to this t. So this equation will be equal to this equation. So we'll get x minus 3 into 5 by 18. We'll bring it down just like this because we can cancel it. Into 5 by 18 into 9. So cancel 5 by 18, cancel 5 by 18, solve this. You will get 8x minus 24 is equal to 9x minus, 36. Okay, so you will get x is equal to 12 if you solve. So x here will be equal to the speed of the train, not the distance. So now to get this final value, we'll again have to substitute the value of x in either this equation or this equation. So let's substitute in this equation. We'll get x is equal to 12 minus 3 into 5 by 18 into 8. So we'll get 9 into 5 by 18 into 8. Answer will be 20 meters. Okay, answer is C. And 10th question. Okay, so 10th question, if n square is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then how many digits does the number n have? Okay, simple property, simple question. Again, if you've gone through past question papers, you would have known this answer, but then if you don't, here it is. So imagine, let's take 11 into 11 square. 11 square will be equal to 1, 2, 1. 111 into 111 will be equal to 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1111 into 1111 will be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So do you see the pattern here? As you keep on increasing the number of ones in terms of the number of digits, it will go up to that value and then come down. For example, we have a 2-digit number, both are ones. So it will be 1, 2 and then come back to 1. If it's a 3-digit number, it will be 1, 2, 3 and then come back to 1. Same for 4. So what can we say about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Definitely, if it goes up to 1, it will be 1 followed by 1 9 times basically. So they're asking how many digits does the number n have? It should have 9 digits. Okay. Again, it's a simple question. If you've gone through past year question papers, you'll be able to answer this. But if you've not, or if it's your first time, no, this is one of the properties of the number 11. Okay. Answer is B, 9. Okay. So we'll move on to the next question. So next question will be question number 15 in code B. Okay. Question number 15. Consider the first 100 natural numbers. How many of them are not divisible by any one of 2, 3, 5, 7 and 9? Again, to answer this question, you will have to know what are the first 100 prime numbers and first 200 prime numbers. What are they and how many they are? Okay, so there's no other way to solve it. So what they're basically asking is how many of these numbers are not divisible by 2, 3, 5, 7. It just looks like they're just giving random numbers, but 2, 3, 5, and 7 are the base prime numbers. Those are starting numbers. So if a number up to 100 is not divisible by any of these numbers, then they are prime numbers by default, because 9 nines are 81 and 10 tens are 100. So first 100 numbers, if they're not divisible by the first 10 numbers, then by default they are prime numbers. So they're basically asking how many prime numbers are there between 1 to 100, and you have to exclude the numbers themselves. So for example, if you are putting 5 is divisible by 5, 7 is divisible by 7. So you have to eliminate 4 numbers. Okay. So the total number of prime numbers between 1 to 100 is 25 minus 4 numbers, that is 2, 3, 5 and 7. 9 is not included in this. You will get 21 as your answer. Answer will be B. Okay, coming to the 16th question. If 4 is lesser than equal to 8 and 2 is lesser than equal to y is lesser than equal to 7. So 4 lesser than equal to x lesser than equal to 8 and 2 lesser than equal to y lesser than equal to 7. What is the ratio of the maximum value of x plus y to the minimum value of x minus y? Okay, so what they're basically asking is x plus y is to x minus y. Okay, this can also be written, any ratio can also be written as numerator by denominator. So we can convert this to x plus y divided by x minus y. What can be the value? Okay, where this has to be the maximum possible, this has to be the minimum possible. So the maximum possible of this is, we can also rewrite this to be x should be between 4 to 8, y should be between 2 to 7, right? So rewrite it in a way that is understandable and legible for you. So to get the maximum value of x plus y, x should be maximum, y should be maximum. If x is 8, y is 7, you will get 15. And to get the minimum value of x minus y, x and y should be the closest possible between each other. Okay, so you see these two are overlapping. That means normally people get confused and think that both x and y should be the minimum value. So they'll take x to be 4, y to be 2, 4 minus 2 will be 2. So if you look at the option, 15 by 2 is one of the options, and they'll tick that. But that is not the case. If x is 4, y should be 4. If x is 5, y should be 5. So the difference will be 0. So 15 by 0 will be not defined number. It's not there in the option. So the option is D, none of the above. Okay, 17th one is an interesting question. Okay. 17th one, let both p and k be prime numbers such that p square plus k is also a prime number less than 30. What is the number of possible values of k? So they're saying p square plus k should give a number that is also prime number, where p and k are prime numbers. Okay, I think by now you would have got the gist. When you're talking about prime numbers, we're starting from 2, not from 1. Now 1, at least for the case of, in this case of UPSC CSAT exam, is not considered prime nor composite. So we're starting from 2. So one way to easily get the answer is, to understand how quickly you can get the answer is, so let us say that p is the lowest prime number, which is equal to 2. So 2 square will give you 4. Plus we have to add one prime number to this, that is k. Okay. So what can we say about prime numbers? One property of prime numbers. What can we definitely say? Right? That a prime number has to be odd. Right? We can say that for certain. There can be never a prime number that is an even number except for 2. Okay, apart from 2, all the other even numbers cannot be prime numbers because all of them are divisible by 2. 4, 8, 16, whatever, 32, all even numbers are not prime numbers. So we'll know for certain that this has to be an odd number, right? So the only way to get an odd number by adding two numbers is that if one of the numbers is odd and the other number is even. If both numbers are even, you will get an even number. If both numbers are odd, you will get an even number, right? So it has to follow a p square plus k has to follow this pattern. One should be an even number, one should be an odd number. That is the only logic to get your answer. Okay, so I mean you can even try it out for yourself and see. 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, even number, it's not a prime number. Odd plus odd, you'll have 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. It's an even number, it's not a prime number. Okay, okay, so what else? So we are starting with p is equal to 2. If p is equal to 3, 3 square is equal to 9. Odd, by logic, this has to be an even number to get an odd number. So the only, and remember all these have to be prime numbers, right? So the only prime number that is even is 2. 2 plus 9 is equal to 11, which is an odd number and a prime number, okay? And here we're not taking 9, we're taking 3 square. So 3, 2 and 11, all are prime numbers. So this is the only possibility for where p is equal to an odd number. Otherwise, p has to be an even number only and it has to be a prime number. So if we find out all possibilities where p is equal to 2 and this has to be, k value has to be an odd number, from this we'll get our answer. Okay, we'll try it out and see. So we'll have 2 square which is equal to 4. We'll start out with 3. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. Yes, it's a prime number. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. Not a prime number. 4 plus 7 is equal to 11. Yes. 4 plus 9, no. 11 is equal to 15. Not a prime number. 4 plus 13 is equal to 17. Yes. 4 plus 15, 17 is equal to 21. No. 4 plus 19 is equal to 23. Yes. Up to where do we need to go? 30. 21. 23 is equal to 27. No. 4 plus 25, 27, 29 is equal to 31. Here it is saying up to 30, so this will be invalid. So we'll count. So this will be 1 where this is one case. 2, 3, 4, 5. Answer will be B for 17th one. So for this, I know it's not been given before, but then if you know the trick of odd even series, like if an odd number is added to an odd number, what you get, if an odd number is multiplied by an odd number and vice versa, odd plus odd, plus even plus even, and even multiplication, odd into odd into even into even, what it gives, you can figure out and get the answer. Okay. So 18th one, I'm not exactly able to understand the question or get the answer. So I've left it for now. The official answer key also will be sharing with you the MCC's IAS Academy's answer key. So from that you can check the answer. Okay, 19th question. Okay, question number 19. Let PQR be a 3-digit number and PPT is a 3-digit number and PS is a 2-digit number, where PQRST are distinct non-zero digits. Further, PQR minus PS is equal to PT. Q is equal to 3, T is less than 6. What is the number of possible values of R and S? Okay. So again, we'll write down the information. What they are saying is PQR minus PS will give you PPT. And they're also saying Q is equal to 3, T is less than 6. And what are the different values of R and S that you can get? Okay, so how do we solve it? First, what we need to do is, before doing this, let us focus on Q and P. So Q minus P is giving you P. How is that possible? And what are the different combinations that we can get to get this answer? Okay, let us ignore this information for now. So say this is only possible when Q is an even number. So for example, if Q is equal to 4 and P is equal to 2, you will get answer as 2. If Q is equal to 6, P is equal to half of 6, that is 3, you will get 3. So there is the only possibility where some number minus another number gives you the same number. Okay, but here they are saying Q is equal to 3. Okay, so what this means is Q has to be some value that is reduced to an even number. Okay, so where is this possible in a subtraction? Where the previous number, that is the units digit, is not greater than the other number, the number that is subtracting from it. So for example, we have 3 and 5. If you're subtracting 5 from 3, it is not possible. It has to go to the next digit, that is, say if its number is 53. It has to reduce this to 4 and then has to raise this to the power of 10. That is, that will become 13. Only then we can subtract this. Okay, that is the only way that this works. Excuse me. So we can say that S is greater than R from this logic. So we know that this, if this is 3, this has to be reduced to 2. By virtue, S should be greater than R. Okay, so what different possibilities are there? And given that it should get a number less than 6. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so let us just take some number 3. Okay, and so if this gives a number okay, so we are having 3. This number will be greater than 3 and this will be raised to the power of 13. And it has to get a number less than 6, that is 5. The only way for that to be possible is this is some number 8. Correct? So we'll have 3 minus 8 and say this is also 3. So this will be reduced to 2. This will be 13. 13 minus 8 will give you 5. 5 is less than 6. Okay, by this logic we are going. Okay, but of course we can't use 3 because in the question is given every number is distinct. That means Q cannot be equal to R. Okay, so instead of 3, let us take 2. Okay, so one more thing I need to mention, continuing with this logic, if Q is equal to 2, then the only way for this, the P to be equal to P, is for P to be equal to 1. So 2 minus 1 will give you 1. So from this we can say P is equal to 1. Okay, so P is equal to 1. So, and these are distinct numbers. So Q and R cannot be the same number. R cannot be equal to 3. R cannot be equal to 3. It cannot be equal to 1 also because 1 is given here. So let us take, if R is equal to 2, what number do I need to subtract to get a number that is less than 6? We'll have to take 7. So this is 3, 2, 3 reduces to 2, this becomes 12, 12 minus 7 will give you 5. This is one combination. If this is 2, this can be 8, 3 minus 2 will give you 2, this will become 12, This will be 4. This is second combination. Okay, we'll ignore this. These are just examples. I'll erase this for now. What else? If this is 2, this can be 9. This is 3. 3 reduces to 2. This will be 12. This will be 3. This is third combination. Beyond 9 you can't go, so we leave it at that. 5, 4, 3. So here we are getting 3 combinations. Is there any other possibility that we can get? So here r cannot be equal to 1, r cannot be equal to 3. Can r be equal to 4? We will try here. If this is 4, this has to be reduced to 14, 9. Okay. So this is 3 and 4. This reduces to 2. This reduces to 14. 14 minus 9 is 5. Right? Beyond this, we can't go for any other number. If we are taking this to be 5 and 9, even if you reduce this to 15, it will give you a number 6. So this is not possible. So the only possibilities are you have 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 9 and 4, 9. There are only 4 possibilities. So answer will be C. Okay. So hope you understand why I am saying that this is a tough paper. You are not expected to solve this unless you are good at maths. Okay. So don't worry, don't get scared when you see all these kind of problems. These are the kind of problems that either you'll have to really train for and really understand different logics, or if you are poor at maths, you can leave this question. It is not compulsory that you'll have to answer these questions. Those who are good at maths can solve this. Okay. But this also gives you an idea of why it's considered a tough paper. Furthermore, you look at the options. 2, 3, 4, more than 4. That means you definitely have to get at least 3 numbers or 4 numbers to eliminate A and B. That means even after this, if I get 4 possibilities, I need to try for 5 and 6 to be certain that I can eliminate option D. Okay, beyond this, I have to try for more and more. So there will be more trial and error. That makes it more time consuming, and that is what makes it a tough paper. Like not just the question, but also the options. Okay. So again, just to reiterate my point of why the CSAT paper is a tough paper and why GS marks might come down much further than the expected cutoff also. Right. For now, we're keeping it at 78 to 82, but it may come down even further based on people's performance in the CSAT, which I fear might be not up to what UPSC might expect. Okay. Question number 20. The answer for 20 is C. Again, it is by trial and error only. These kind of questions, there is no other logic to this. Okay, this is the question, and we'll substitute the C, you get B, BC, BAC, BC, BAC. So if you substitute BC, BAC, what do you get? ABB, CCC, ABB, CCC, ABB, CCC. This pattern keeps repeating. Okay, so this is a perfect fit for the particular series. Answer for 20 will be C. Okay, so the next question will be question number 25. So question number 25 in code B, a solid cube is painted yellow on all its faces. The cube is then cut into 60 smaller but equal pieces by making the minimum number of cuts. Which of the following statements is or are correct? Statement 1, the minimum number of cuts is 9. The number of small pieces which is not painted on any face is 6. Okay, so how do we do this? I'll just, again, I can explain it via a diagram. Okay, so just imagine we have a cube. and here we're making one cut on this side, one cut or two cuts on this side. So it will be like this. And one cut on this side. Okay, so if we ask you a question, how many cuts are there in total? How do you find it out? Of course, one way to do it is by just counting the number of cubes. But then if you're cutting the more number of cuts, it's harder to count and it will be more time consuming. So what you can do is, if I'm taking two cuts on one side, it will say on, so let this be the y-axis, let this be the x-axis, and let this be the z-axis. On y-axis, I'm making two cuts. If I'm making two cuts, I'll get three pieces. X-axis, I'm making one cut, I'll get two pieces, and z-axis, I'm making one cut, I'll get two pieces. Okay, so to find out the total number of pieces, you simply multiply. So you will get 2 into 2 into 3. 2 into 2 into 3. So 3 into 2 into 2 will give you 4, 4 3s are 12. 12 will be the total number of pieces that you get. Okay, and you can count also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this is how you normally solve these kind of questions when they talk about cubes and cutting. Now the same thing they're asking but in reverse. They've given you the total number of pieces. They're asking you how many cuts are there and number of smaller pieces. Okay, they're asking you the reverse. So how do we do it? If we are having in reverse, we are having 60 pieces. What we can do is find out the factors of 60. Factors of 60, you will get 4 into 5 into 3. Is there any other possibility? I don't think. Okay, so you can do 60 into 1 into 1, or you can do you can do 20 into 3 into 1, but then whenever you have 1, that means you're not making any cut. For 2 pieces, you need to make 1 cut, but it's being cut on all sides, so none of it is any other possibility. The only other way is 4 into 5 into 3. That means if we are having a cube in this format, on one side you are making 4 cuts, on one side you are making 5 cuts, and on one side you are making 6 cuts, 3 cuts rather. Okay, so let us say that on this side we are making 4 cuts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, on this side we are making 5 cuts, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on this side we are making 3 cuts. Okay, correct. So if you're making if you're making 2 cuts, we're having 3 pieces. If you're making 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts, we're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this side, we're having 3 cuts. 1, 2, 3. Okay, same thing. So if you're getting 4 pieces, we need 3 cuts. If we're making 5 pieces, we need 4 cuts. And if we're making 3 pieces, we're making 2 cuts. Okay, so they're asking how many is the minimum number of cuts. So this will represent number of pieces. This will represent number of cuts. So number of cuts will be 3 plus 4 plus 2, 7, 8, 9. So minimum number of cuts is 9. Yes, the first one is correct. Now they are asking the number of pieces which is not painted on any face is 6. So how do you find that out? Okay, so before we understand this, let us understand if we are taking just one strip. Okay, just one strip, and we're cutting it into 3 different pieces. 3 pieces, we're making 2 cuts, and we're painting on 2 sides. So if this is say a rectangular cube, or rather a rectangular cuboid, and we're painting on 2 sides, right? 2 sides. To find out the number of sides that is not painted, we'll have to do x minus 2. So for example, if you're painting on these 2 sides, these 2 will be colored, but then this one won't be colored. That is the one that is inside. Okay, so we'll have, if there are 3 pieces, 3 minus 2 will be the number of pieces that is not painted. Okay, if there are 4 pieces, 4 minus 2, the one that is in between will be the number that is not painted, that is equal to 2. So in this case, if it is cut into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, on this side 2 will not be painted, on this side there are 5, 3 will not be painted, on this side 3 minus 1, 1 will not be painted. So 3 into 1 into 2 will give you 6. So number of pieces that are not painted is 6. Yes. So that is the answer. Okay. So we'll go to the next question, which is 27th one. So the petrol prices shot up by 10% as a result of hike in crude oil prices. The price of petrol before the hike was rupees 90 per liter. A person travels 2,200 kilometers every month and his car gives a mileage of 16 kilometers per liter. By how many kilometers should he reduce his travel if he wants to maintain the expenditure at the previous level? Okay, they're asking, so they're basically saying because the price of petrol went up, he has to reduce his amount of travel distance to ensure that he spends the same. Okay, they're asking by how much is it reducing. Okay, so this is again another example of one of those questions that is moderate to hard. Okay, it will take time to solve it in the question paper in the examination hall. So again, it's just another evidence of how it's a tough paper. Okay, so let us say the price of petrol is some value X and this has a 10% increase. Okay, so before the hike it was rupees 90 per liter. Okay, it's given in the question, so it's rupees 90 per liter and 10% hike means now it will be rupees 99 per liter. Okay, fine. So now a person travels, distance traveled is 2,200 kilometers and he has a mileage of 16 kilometers per liter. Okay, so what we need to do is, first what we'll do is we'll try to find out how much of liters of petrol he consumes. Based on that we can find out how much of expenditure he spends, and then because of price increase how much should it decrease by the expenditure, the amount of liters consumed, how much will it reduce by. So 16 kilometers gives you 1 liter. So for 2,200 kilometers, how much will it consume? Cross multiply, you will get 16x is equal to 2,200 or x is equal to 2,200 divided by 16. When you calculate, you will get 4 5s are 20, 5s are 20, 550 and 4. Cancel this again. So you'll get 137.5. 137.5 liters will be consumed. Okay. So now we'll take this value and bring it here. So they're saying 137.5 liters of petrol is consumed to travel 2,200 kilometers into 90. 90 is the cost per liter. So this will give you the total expenditure that he has to spend. Now this will remain constant, but now what they are saying is this price increases to 99. So when this increases to 99, to maintain the same value, this will decrease, right? So that is what we have to find out here. So 137.5 liters of petrol consumed for 90 rupees per liter will be equal to X into 99, the 10% increase, 99. So to get this answer, we'll simply cross multiply, we'll get 137.5 into 90 divided by 99. Cancel this, you'll get 10, 11. So you'll get 1375 divided by 11. When you solve this, you'll get 125 liter. Yeah, 125 will be the amount of petrol he can consume because of price increase. Now they're asking how much will distance reduce? Okay, so mileage is the same. So we'll bring this back here. So 16 kilometers will give you 1 liter of petrol. So now instead of 137.5, 125 liters will give you what distance? Okay, when you cross multiply, you will get x is equal to 16 into 125, which will be equal to 2000. 2000 kilometers. So they're asking what is the reduction or the amount of distance he's reduced his travel time by how much. So it will be 2200 the initial distance minus 2000, which will give you 200. Answer will be B. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Question number 28. Okay, question 28. It's actually a fairly simple question. It looks complicated, but if you know divisibility rule and simple, remainder quotient kind of questions, you will be able to eliminate and get this answer. So this is one of the examples of generally what UPSC does for CSAT papers. Although some questions may seem hard, and if you're poor at quants, using process of elimination, you can get the right answer. Okay. We'll read the question. A 4-digit number n is such that when divided by 3, 5, 6 and 9 leaves a remainder of 1, 3, 4 and 7 respectively. What is the smallest value of n? Okay, so some number is there. When it is divided by 3, 5, 6 and 9 leaves a remainder of 1, 3, 4 and 7. Okay, so let us say take the number 5 for example. Okay, so if we are dividing 8 by 5, okay, so 8 divided by 5, 5 ones are 5 and it will give you a remainder 3. What this equation tells me is it's simple division, but what it tells me is if 3 is subtracted from 8, you will get a number that is perfectly divisible by 5. That is what the idea of remainder means. Okay, so when 3 is subtracted, you will get 5. 5 is divisible by 5. So I mean, same thing you can do for 18 also. 18, 5 3s are 15. You will get a remainder of 3. So 18 minus 3 will give you will give you an answer of 15. This will be perfectly divisible by 5. So what they are indirectly telling you is, when a number gives you a remainder 3, when you subtract 3 from that number, it will give you a number that is perfectly divisible. Okay, so when it gives a remainder t, here you are doing the reverse. You are going the opposite order of what I am telling you. So that particular, if you look at the options, that number, what is the divisibility test for 5? Divisibility test for 5 is the units digit or the last number should either be a 0 or a 5. 0 or 5 will always be divisible by 5. So if you have say a number 15 and you add 3, you will get a number that leaves a remainder 3. So that means your options A, B, C, D should either have a number, again 0 and 5 perfectly divisible by 5. If it leaves a remainder 3, it is 3 excess of what you want. So you will get 13 or 18. That means your answer in the option should have a units digit of either 3 or 8. Now immediately go to the options. What has a units digit of 3 or 8? Option A has, option 2 doesn't have, option 3 has, option 4 doesn't have. Immediately you can eliminate option B and D. Definitely it's not the answer. So it is either between 1068 and 1072. These are your two options. Fine. Now using the same logic, let us apply it for another number, another of these divisibility conditions. Divisibility by 3, it leaves a remainder 1. That means what number you have, it is excess of the number that you want by 1. So if you have 1068, 1067 should be divisible by 3, or 1071, that is 1072 minus 1 should be divisible by 3. Again, using this, check the divisibility criteria for 3. What is it? The sum of the digits should be divisible by 3. Sum of the digits is 7 plus 6, 13 plus 1, 14. 14 is divisible by 3? No, this can't be the answer. 1 plus 7 plus 1, 9, divisible by 3? Yes, you got your answer. Answer is C. 1078. Again, so it seems complicated, but then if you know that your divisibility criteria, you will easily able to get the answer. Okay. Question number 29. Okay, consider the following statements. A is less than or equal to B. That means B is greater than or equal to A. B is greater than C. B greater than C. C is less than D, or D is greater than C. D is greater than E. E is greater than F. F is greater than or equal to G. And G is equal to H. Okay, this is the first one. They're asking B is always greater than E. So B and E, we want only this much. Fine. So B is greater than or equal to A. If B is, let's say that B is greater than A, B is greater than C. So C can be here also, C can be here also, fine. And D is greater than C. There is no relationship between B and D. So if B is greater than C means B can be here, so D can be here, D can also be here. It will still satisfy the equation where D can be greater than B. And D is greater than E means E can be here also. So B is greater than E always? Not so, because there can exist a condition where D, E, B, C, A also can exist. C can come here also. So E and B, that's the relationship we want to find out. Is it always greater? No. First statement is wrong. Second statement. Okay. P is greater than Q. Q is equal to R. R greater than equal to S. S equal to T. T is less than or equal to, I'll change the opposite direction. U is greater than or equal to T. And U is equal to V. So what do they want? S always less than V. So V is greater than S always. Okay, V and S. Okay, so we want V and S, T is there, Q is there, R is there. We actually don't need any of these. We'll have to focus on this. So S is equal to T. U is greater than or equal to T. So U can be equal to T, that is equal to S, or U can be greater. So U can be ahead and U is greater than V, U is equal to V. So they all can be equal or V can be greater than S. So there exists a condition where S is equal to V also, right? So if S is equal to T, if T is equal to U and U is equal to V, then S will be equal to V. That can't be true that V is always greater than S. So second statement is also wrong. Answer will be D, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, we'll go to the 30th question. Okay, so 30th question, what is the units digit in the multiplication of 1 into 3 into 5 into 7, so on till 99? Okay, so from this question itself, you can see they're taking all odd numbers. So what is the answer? Okay, so let us say, let's not take all this, let us take the sample set of 1 into 3 into 5 into 7 into 9. Okay, so whenever you see any number I mentioned, right, so odd even sets. Multiplication, here you are having odd numbers. Odd number into an odd number will always give you an odd number. So now go to the options. All options are odd. Okay, fine. What else can we find out? Let's take 5 here. 5 into an odd number and 5 into an even number. What will they always give? You'll notice another pattern. 5 into an even number will always give you units digit as 0. 5 into an odd number will always give you units digit of 5. Again, divisibility test of 5, but then 5 into an odd number. So 5 into 3 is 15, 5 into 9 is 45. Always units digit is 5. So no matter what these products are, 5 into any of these products will give you a number of 5. Now let us take another set. 11 into 13 into 15 into 17 into 19. Same logic. 5 is over here. Whatever the other products is, you will get 5. Right? And so on and so forth. So 21 to 29, 31 to 39. Everything you will get 5. And 5 into 5 will give you another 25. So whatever the case is, no matter what the product is, the units digit is always going to be 5 only. Answer is C. Okay. So we'll go to the next question. Question number 35 in code B. A natural number n is such that it can be expressed as n is equal to p into q, p plus q plus r, where p, q and r are distinct factors of n. How many numbers below 50 have this property? So the answer given is C, 8. Okay, 36. We'll go to 36th question. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. Question number 37. How many possible values of p plus q plus r are there satisfying 1 by p plus 1 by q plus 1 by r, where p, q and r are natural numbers, not necessarily distinct? Okay, so again, this is just by trial and error. 1 by p plus 1 by q plus 1 by r should be equal to 1, and they're all natural numbers. Okay, so what we can do, we can obviously put 3, 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3, one third by one third by one third will give you 1. What else we can do? There is no other possibilities except say 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 will give you half, half plus half will give you 1. Now in this we can do different reiterations, because they mentioned not necessarily distinct. That means more than one can be the same number. So when we rearrange it, we'll get 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 will give you 1. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 will also give you 1. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 distinct possibilities. Answer will be D, more than 3. Okay, so now we'll go to the next question, 38th question in code B. What comes at x and y respectively in the following sequence? So if you note the sequence carefully, you will see that. Okay, let's write the sequence. Jan, December, October, then you have X, then you have March, then you have October, then you have Y, then you have September. Okay, so how I've taken it is, it is 12 months difference. So this will be 12 months, this will be 11 months, January to December, then this will be 10 months, this will be 9, this will be 8, this will be 7, this will be 6. So January is January. So if you count 12 months from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, that will be 12. Then here you'll go to, when you can count again from January 11 months, you'll go to December. From December 10 months, you'll go to October. From October 9 months, October, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Correct? October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. July will be the answer. Okay, so with July means again go to the option, you can eliminate C and D. So it'll either be July, May or July, April. So this will be 8, this will be 7. Again from October, 7 months. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Okay. November, December. Sorry, this will be 9, this will be, sorry, this will be from July 8, this will be 7, this will be 6, so it won't be April, it won't be May, it will be April. Okay, so 12, 11, 10, 9, from July to March it will be 8, March to October 7, October to Y will be 6, so April will be answer. Answer will be B. Okay, so we'll go to the 39th question. Okay, so question number 39, they're saying Team X scored a total of n runs in 20 overs. The Team Y scored in 10% less overs, had Team Y's average run rate, runs per over, been 50% higher, the score would have been tied in 12 overs. How many runs were scored by Team X? Okay, we'll try to solve it down. Team X scored a total of n runs. Okay, so Team X scored n runs in 20 overs. Team Y tied it in 10% less overs. So Team Y will also get n runs in 10% less. That is 20, 10% of 20. Cancel these two, you will get 2. So 10% less means 20 minus 2 will give you 18 overs. So in 18 overs, they scored the same n runs. Now they're asking, had team wise average run rate, that is runs per over, been 50% higher, the score would have been tied in 12 overs. Okay. Okay, so let's just say, for example, that X scored 100 runs in 20 overs. Y tied it, or they scored 100 runs in the same 18 overs. Now, what they're saying is, had it been 50% higher, had team average run rate, so runs per over. 100 won't be a nice number, we'll take 90. Okay, rather than, let's take for easy calculation, we'll take 180. Okay, so they're scoring 180 runs in 20 overs, had Y scored same 180 runs in 18 overs. So the run rate will be 180 divided by 18. Number of runs scored by number of overs, so that will be 10. Now they are saying, had the Y's average run rate been 50% higher. So that means instead of 10, if it had been 15, they would have tied the score in 12 overs. Correct? So if their run rate is 15, right? So from this itself we'll get 180 runs in 18 overs. So if it is okay, sorry, before this let's try the other way. So this is 10 runs per over, this is 15 runs per over. So let us take, so 180 runs will give you at 10 runs per over. If it is 15 runs per over, what is it? X. So X will be equal to 180 into 15 by 10. Cancel these two. No, rather, okay, sorry, got a little confused. So 15 runs per over is the thing. What this means is he'll get 15 runs in 1 over. So to get 180 runs, how much will he take? How much overs will he take? It's given in the question, I know, but then without that information, we'll try to solve it. Okay, so so you'll get 180 divided by 15. If you do 180 by 15, you will get 12 overs. What this means is without the second half of the question. So what they are saying is had team-wise average run rate been 50% higher, he would have tied the score in 12 overs. The second part of that question we actually don't need, because if we just know that he scored 50% higher, we would have already known that he got 12 he would have tied the score in 12 runs per over. So basically what this means is the data is insufficient to answer the question. Option will be D. Okay, so they should have given some other information for us to gather this. So for example, which number of runs means if they gave something that we could ascertain from say X. So they gave only one statement related to X. Had they given more than one statement related to X, then we could have got the number of runs that is to be scored. But since they gave only one part of it, we can already get the value of him reaching it in 12 overs with this information. So it's actually insufficient data. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. Question number 40. Again, too long and complicated to do. But yeah, the simple answer is A. Again, you will not be required to do this. It's considered a tough question. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Question number 43. Question number 43 in code B. Okay. It's saying a question is given followed by statement 1 and statement 2. Consider the statements and mark the correct option. In a football match, team P is playing against Q, was behind by 3 goals with 10 minutes remaining. Does P win the match? Okay. And statement 1 is given. Team P scores 4 goals in last 10 minutes. Statement 2, team Q scored a total of 4 goals in the match. Okay. Okay, so the football match is there, Q is there, Q is greater than P by 3. Okay, so they say, does P win the match? Okay, so they're saying, does P win the match? So Q is greater than P by 3 goals. Now let us say that P scores 4 goals. So if he scores 4 goals, P will be greater than Q by 1. He would have won the match. But the trick in this one is the first statement only gives the information regarding P. They have not given any information regarding Q. They have said that P scores 3 goals or P scores 4 goals. but they've not given any information regarding Q. What if Q scores one more goal, or two more goals, or three more goals? If Q scores one more goal, he would have tied the match. If Q scores two more goals, he would have won the match. So only with statement 1, you can't determine whether the question does P win the match. You can't answer that question. You need the second statement also. So if the second statement says that Q scores only 4 goals in the match, okay, if you are having that information, whatever permutation and combination we have of this will satisfy this equation. So for example, let us say that they are differentiating by 3 goals. So what if before the 10 minutes before the end of the whistle, the score is 3-0 in favor of Q. Okay, this is the lowest possible value that you can get. Difference is 3 and Q is leading by 3 goals and P is 0. If P scores 4 goals, then P wins the match. If the second statement that says Q has a total of 4 goals, that means in the 10 minutes, Q scores one more goal, the match will be tied at 4-4. With this, we can definitely answer whether P has won the match or it's a draw match. So we need both statement 1 and statement 2 together to answer that question. So statement 1 and statement 2 will give us a conclusive evidence that the match is drawn. Statement 1 alone will give an inconclusive statement. Whether P has won the match or Q has won the match, we don't know. So best answer for this will be C. Okay. Question number 44. So question is given followed by 2 statements. It's the same kind of format. They're asking, is P plus Q the whole square minus 4PQ, where P, Q and are natural positive numbers. Statement 1, P is less than Q. Statement 2, P is greater than Q. Okay, so let's say P plus Q whole square minus 4PQ. So we'll simplify this further. We can get P square plus Q square plus 2PQ minus 4PQ, or P square plus Q square minus 2PQ. So they're asking, is this value positive? Okay, so let us just test these 2 conditions. Say that this will be equal to 2, this will be equal to 1, where P is greater than Q. So 2 2s are 4, 1 1s are 1, 1 plus 4 minus 2 into 1. So 2, 1, this will be 4. Answer will be 0. Is it positive? No. If Q is greater than P, P square plus Q square minus 2PQ, again reverse it, you'll get 1, 2 minus 2, again 1, 2 again. Minus 4, you'll have 4 plus 1. Sorry, this will be 5, this will be 1. So this is positive. This also will give you a positive result. So one statement is enough, 2 statements is enough. What if we don't have either statement 1 or statement 2? So if we have statement 1 where P is greater than Q, then we will know that it's a positive number. If Q is greater than P, we know it's a positive number. What is the alternative where we don't need any of the statements? Then we'll try that P is equal to Q, where we take P square plus Q square minus 2PQ. So let's take 2, 2, and this is also 2. So 2 into 2 into 2 will be 8. This will be 4. This will be 4. 4 plus 4 minus 8 will give you 0. You try this, you will get the same value for any number. So 0 is considered neither positive nor negative, it's a neutral number. Okay, so without either statement, you cannot answer the question. With one statement alone, you can answer the question. You don't need both statements, because both statements separately will yield a positive result. So you need either first statement or either second statement. Answer will be B. Question number 45. Okay, so question number 45. In a T20 cricket match, 3 players X, Y and Z scored a total of 37 runs. The ratio of the number of runs scored by X to the number of runs scored by Y is equal to the ratio of number of runs scored by Y to the number of runs scored by Z. And they are asking value 1 runs scored by X, value 2 runs scored by Y, value 3 runs scored by Z. Which of the following is correct? Okay, we look at this question. So they are saying X plus Y plus Z is equal to 37. Okay, so to understand this, I'll be teaching you one interesting formula or one interesting fact. Let us say we have some number 5, okay, and we are squaring this number. So 5 square is nothing but 25, okay. So 25, if you want to find out 5 square and you don't know how to, if say you are, you don't know in the examination hall how to do it, you have 3, or rather you have 4, 5, 6. You can take the numbers beside 5, that is one number preceding 5, that is 4, one number after 5, that is 6, and multiply these two numbers, 4 into 6. This number will always give you the number that is, okay, okay, so to understand this, let me try to put it in one interesting manner. Say that you want to find out what is 4 into 6. I don't know what this number is. Okay, so for some reason my brain is not working in the examination hall. What I can do is, so the middle number between 4, and 6 is 5, right? So 5 square is equal to 25. So to find out this value, we'll do nothing but the 4, 5 and 6. It is separated by 1. This is separated by 1. Okay. So to find out 4 into 6, we will do 5 square minus 1 square, which is 25 minus 1, which is equal to 24. This will give you this value. And of course, I'm doing it for small numbers, but you can do it for any number. So for example, say that you want to find out what is 9 into 11. You don't know what 9 into 11 is, but you have 10 number, the value of 10. So 10 tens are 100. 1 squared, 1 is what separates 9 and 10 and 9, 10 and 11. So 1 square. So 100 minus 1 square is nothing but 99. Again, it applies for all numbers. So say instead of 9 into 11, you want to do 8 into 12. Here 10 minus 2, 10 minus 2 will give you 8, 10 plus 2 will give you 12. So 100 square minus 2 square will give you 100 minus 4, which will give you 96. That is the value of 8 into 12. Okay, so this is nothing but a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. This is, I'm sure you know this formula, you learned this in school, but then this is the practical application of that. Now why I'm telling you all of that is, same thing you can apply over here, where you have x, y, z, and once you get it in this format, you will realize that y square is equal to x into z. The only way for this equation to satisfy is one number should be less, one number should be more. It can be either way. It can be y square, it can be z here, it can be x here. Only if one number is less, can it equal a number that is close to y square. That is, x should be less than y, z should be greater than y, or vice versa. So taking this value, we'll have x will be greater than y, will be greater than z, or z will be greater than x, will be greater than y. Same, now if you take in terms of v1, v2, v3, same, v1, v2, v3. Okay, so here if you go back to the options, either option 1 will satisfy, option A will satisfy, or option B will satisfy. Option C can't satisfy. And if you go back to the options, you can't have two options as a correct answer. So the best answer to go for is option D. Again, it's pure logic. Generally speaking, when you have two options that are correct, neither of them is correct, and you go for the one that can't be determined. Okay. Okay, we'll go for next question. Question number 46. Let p plus q is equal to 10. P and q are integers. Okay. The maximum value of p into q when p and q are positive integers, value 2. The maximum value of p into q when p is greater than or equal to 6, minus 6, and q is greater than or equal to minus 4. Okay. So p plus q is equal to 10. Both are integers. Integers means minus 3, 2 plus 3. Anything that can be plus or minus, but they need to be whole numbers, 0 included. Maximum value of p into q and p and q are positive integers. Okay. So p into q, if they're statement 1, they're positive integers. So p into q will be, say if it's 5 into 5, 5 plus 5 is equal to 10, 7 plus 3 is equal to 10, 8 plus 2 is equal to 10. Okay, so if you remember in the previous question I told you, right? 5, let's say 4, 3, 2, 6, 7, 8. So 5 square will be greater than 4 into 6 by 1. 5 square will be greater than 3 into 7 by 4. 5 square will be greater than 2 into 8 by 9. Okay, so the greatest value will always be 5 square. Have they given that it should be distinct? No. P and Q can be the same numbers. So 5 into 5 will give you 25. So this will be the greatest value of the combination 5 where the sum is equal to 10. Okay, so that is the maximum value. Second one, maximum value of p into q where p is greater than or equal to minus 6. Second condition. Okay, so same thing applies over here. We can do minus 6 into minus 4, minus 6 into minus, or we can do minus 5 into minus 4, minus 4 into minus 4, 16, 20, 24. So 24 will give the maximum value greater than or equal to 6. Okay, it can be greater than or equal to minus 6. So that means it can be 7, it can be, both can be 7, 7 sevens are 49. So value 2 answer will be A, I think. Okay, sorry, it should be equal to 10. I forgot that condition. So if that is the case, we'll have 10 means. So here also we can have the maximum value is 5 and 5. Greater than or equal to minus 6, greater than or equal to minus 4. Both can be 5. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10, 5 into 5 is 25. You can't go beyond that. So you can't go, if you go anything less than that, when you multiply, when you add, you might get a negative value. When you multiply, you get a positive value. So both will be 5. Answer will be C. Value 1 is equal to value 2. Okay. Question number 47. Okay, question number 47. Consider a set of 11 numbers. Minimum value of the average of numbers of the set when their consecutive integers is greater than or equal to minus 5. Set of 11 numbers. Minimum value of the average of the number of sets. Okay. So 11 numbers. So what they are saying is it should start from minus 5. 11 numbers. So minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So up to 5. We'll get 11 numbers. And they're asking a minimum value. Minimum value of the product of the numbers of the set when they are consecutive non-negative integers. Minimum value of the product, non-negative integers. So non-negative means it can start from 0 also. 0, 1, 2, 3, so on till 10. They're asking minimum value. So product, the minimum value of this has to be 0. If you're taking minus 4, 2 plus 6, product will be 10, 0, 11. Will probably be little more than 1, I think. Not sure, but then this will be the minimum value. Minimum value of this means you have to include 0. If you are starting from 1 means it will be a much higher number, you have to start from 0. So this will be 0, this will be 0, answer will be value 1 is equal to value 2. Okay. Okay, question number 48. The average of three numbers P, Q and R is K. P is as much more than Q, more than the average, as Q is less than the average. What is the value of R? It's a simple question, it's a direct question. If you understand averages, you will be able to get it. Answer is A, K. 49. Let x be a real number between 0 and 1. Which of the following statements is or are correct? For statement 1, x square is greater than x cube, and statement 2, x is greater than root of x. Okay. Again, it seems like it's a very direct answer, but then there's a trick to it. The answer will be C. Okay. It won't be B, because when you're taking any number between 0 and 1, generally the more you compound a number in terms of squares or cubes, the lower the value will be. Okay, so 0.3 into 0.3 will give you 0.09. Okay, so cube of that number is actually less, a square of the number is actually less than that number. If you again multiply it by the 0.3, you'll get 0.0027. Okay, so the cube is actually less than the square. So first statement is correct, second statement is also correct. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Answer will be C. Question number 50. The difference between any two natural numbers is 10. What can be said about the natural numbers which are divisible by 5 and lie between these two numbers? Okay, again this is a little bit of a tricky question, but the answer for this will be C. So they're saying difference between any two natural numbers is 10. Okay, so let us take some number 5 and 15, or let's take a little higher, 25 and 35. Difference between 25 and 35 is 10. What can be said about natural numbers which is divisible by 5 lies between any of these two numbers? So between 25 and 35, not including these two numbers. What are the numbers is that? You have 25, 30. So you have one number between these two numbers that is divisible by 5. But you can also take 23, 33. Difference is 10. Between this you will have 25 and 30. Here you have two numbers that is divisible by 5. Okay. So what can be said about the numbers that lie between them? There is only one such number. There is only two such numbers. There can be more than one such number. Best answer is C, more than one such, because you can't definitively say that there's only one. You can't definitively say that there's only two. It can be one, it can be two. You can definitely say that there will be more than one such number. There can be more than one such number. That means there can be one number or there can be more than one. So we'll go to the next question. Question number 54. Consider the following statements. There exists a natural number which, when increased by 50%, can have its number of factors unchanged. Second one, there exists a natural number which, when increased by 150%, can have its number of factors unchanged. Okay, so how do we do this? Let's take the first case for an example. 50% increase. So let's just take one number 10. Factors of 10 is 5 and 2. Okay. Okay, if you're including 1 and then 10, the number of 10 also, it will be 4. Increasing it by 50%. 50% increase will give you 15. 5 into 3. Number of factors will still be still be the same. If you are taking the number and 1 as the other two factors, it will still be the same. Okay, there exists a number. Yes, first statement can be correct. Second statement, there exists a natural number which, when increased by 150%, can have its number of factors unchanged. Same. Okay, let's take 10. Okay, we'll try it out and see. We're not taking 1 in the number itself. Let's just take 5 into 2. Increasing it by 150%, you'll get 25. which is equal to 5 into 5. Number of factors is only 1. Here it is 2. So what we can do is, let's take another number. Let's say 6. Increasing it by 150% will give you 15. 6 will be 3 into 2. 15 will be 5 into 3. So both are prime numbers. There's no other factors that are there. So yes, it can exist. So 1 is correct, 2 is correct. Again, so all these kind of problems, it's better to do it by trial and error and see if you're able to get some number. Preferably, if you take an even number, then increasing it by say 50% or 150% is much easier. Okay, so answer for this will be C, both 1 and 2. Question number 55. There are 7 places A, B, C, D, E, F, and G in a city connected by various roads. Okay, so this will be a little bit of a long question. Let us draw it out and see. Okay, the roads are A, B, A, C, C, D, 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 E, B, F, E, G, F, G. What we'll do is we'll also mark north, south, west, east. A is 6 kilometers south of B. So let's starting point is B, 6 kilometers south, A. A little longer. Okay. A 6 kilometers south of B. A is 10 kilometers west of C. C is there, C is there, C is west. D is 5 kilometers east of E. Okay, C is 6 kilometers north of D. C 6 kilometers north of D. So D is north 6 kilometers. C is 6 kilometers north of D. D is 6 kilometers north of D. And we'll go back to the previous statement. D is 5 kilometers east of E. E is there, E is east. Okay. F is 9 kilometers west of B. B west. North of G 12 kilometers. A person travels from D to F through these roads. D to F. D to F through these roads. What is the distance covered by the person? Okay. So we'll establish the connection. AB is there, AC is there, CD is there, DE is there, BF is here, EG. E and G is also connected, and F and G is connected. Okay, a person is traveling from D to F through these roads. What is the distance covered by the person? Distance covered by the person will be this one. So it will be 5, 19. So this total distance will be 19, and this will be 12. 19 plus 12 will be 31. 31 kilometers. Okay, answer for 55 will be C, 31. Okay, question number 56. Okay. In a certain code, 64 is written as 343, 216 written as 729, 512 written as what? Okay. So if you look at these numbers, 64, 343, 216, 729, 512. Okay, so it's usually, unless you know cubes and squares well, these numbers will be unfamiliar. Again, it's important that you know squares and cubes. If you know cubes, you'll know that this will be 4 cube, this will be 6 cube, this will be 8 cube, this will be 7 cube, this will be 9 cube, next will be 11 cube. 11 cube is 1331. Answer will be B, Bombay. 57. Question number 57. What is the remainder when 9 power 3 plus 9 power 4 plus 9 power 5 plus 9 power 6, so on and so forth, is divided by 6? Okay, to know this, first let's start out with 9 power 1. Then we'll go to 9 power 2, 9 power 3, and so on. So 9 power 1 is what? 9. 9 power 2 is 81. Divide 9 power 1 by 6. Divide 81 by 6. You will get remainder as 3. 6 ones are 6. 9 minus 6 will be 3. This one you will get 60, 72, 84, 76, 80, 60, 70, 66, 72, 78. Yeah, so you'll have 81, 78, remainder will be 3. Same will have 729. 9 power 3 is 729. 6, 1s are 6, 1, 2, 2s are 12, and 9, 1, 6, 3. Remainder 3. So no matter what you do, you will have 3. So 9 power 3, 9 power 4, everything pattern will continue. So you'll have 3 remainder, 3 remainder, 3 remainder, and so on and so forth. Okay, so when you have that case, first we'll have to look at how many powers. So you can either, so 3 plus 3 will give you 6. Whenever you have 6, when you divide it by 6, you will get 0. Okay, so we have to see whether these pairings are even numbers or odd numbers. It is starting from 3, it is ending in 100. So you will get 49 pairs, meaning you will have, this will be one pair, this will be one pair. There will be no odd number of 3s remaining out. Okay, so you'll get 6 plus 6 plus 6. When you divide it, you will get answer as 0. A will be the answer. Okay, so question number 58. Question is, what is the smallest one-digit number having exactly 4 distinct factors? Smallest one-digit number having exactly 4 distinct factors. Okay. Smallest one-digit number we can take from 1 to 9. What number will take? Best number to take is 6. 6 you will have 2, 3, 1 and 6. 4 distinct numbers, it's already there. Do we need first statement and second statement? Not necessarily. We can automatically get it from our own. So the answer will be D. The question can be answered even without any of the statements taken. Question number 59. Okay, question number 59 is saying, let P, Q, R and S be distinct non-zero digits if PP into PQ is equal to RRSS, where P is less than or equal to 3, Q is less than or equal to 4. What is Q equal to? Okay, let's take these numbers. Okay, PPQQ into PQ, so PP into PQ is equal to RRSS. They are distinct numbers. P is less than or equal to 3, Q is less than or equal to 4. It's already given in the question. Okay, so let us take, for example, P is 1. Okay, so they're given, just write it here, P less than or equal to 3, Q less than or equal to 4. So P can be 1, 2, 3, Q can be 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they're giving their non-zero digits, it can't be 0. Okay, so let's say P is equal to 1. If P is equal to 1 means 1 into 1. Again, Q cannot be equal to P because they are saying it's distinct numbers. So Q can't be 1, it has to be 2. Okay, so without multiplying, let us just multiply the unit digit. 2 into 1 will give you 2. Again, distinct numbers. That means if Q is equal to 2, S cannot be equal to 2. Immediately we can reject this number. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. By trial and error, we're going to see how many values are possible and do we need statement 1 and statement 2 to answer the question to begin with. So they're asking what is Q equal to. Okay, fine. Okay, so we can't take 2. What else can we take? 3. Same thing, whether 1 into any number will give the number itself. So the entire logic of 11 can be removed. We don't even have to take 11. Again, we'll go to the next number. 22. 22 into 2, Q is equal to 1. Q is equal to 1, 2 into 1 will give you 2, we can reject this number. What else? It can't be 2 because again P and Q can't be same, reject it. 3, 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Is it possible? Okay, fine, let's take this. If 22 into 23, 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6, 0, 3 2s are 6, so 2 2s are 4, 2s are 4. 6, 0, 1 carry over, 506. So 506 is not of this number, again rejected. Next number 4. If this is 4, 8, 8, 0, 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4. 8, 2, 1 carry over, 5, 12. It's a 3-digit number, not possible. Okay, so even 2, 2 can't be the answer. Let's go to 3, 3 next. Okay, we can do only 1, 1, 2, 2 or 3, 3. So 3, 3, P has to be 3 and 3 into 1 is 3. You can reject 1. It has to be equal to 2. What else? 3, 3, 3, 2. 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6, 0, 3 2s are 9, 3 3s are 9. 6, 15, 1 carry over, 1056. It's not of this format, not possible. What else? Only our remaining number is 4. So 3, 3, 3, 4, 3 4s are 12, 1 carry over, 3 4s are 12, 13, 0, 3 3s are 9, 3 3s are 9, 2, 12, 9, 10, 11. 1, 1, 2, 2. We are getting of this format. So this is the answer. And there's no other combination apart from this. So 3, 3, 4, 4, we can get what the value of Q. So here Q will be equal to 4. We can get the value of Q without knowing statement 1 or statement 2. So what they're asking is, question can be answered using one of the statements alone, cannot be answered using the other. That's not true. Question can be answered by using either statements alone. Maybe even if you have the value of S is equal to 2, then we won't know what combination is there. And it can be answered with without using both the statements. Yes, answer will be D. Okay. Question number 60. How is Q related to P? So P has two sisters. So they're asking the relationship between Q and P. P has two sisters. Has two sisters, R and S. I'm indicating minus sign to indicate that they're women. R is the father. R's father is the brother of Q. So R, he has a father, some person X is the brother of Q. R's father is the brother of Q. Okay. So R's father. So if R has a father, some person X, brother of Q. So if they're all siblings, if his father means it will be X's father also. So Q will be P's uncle. So can we find out how is Q related to P? So we definitely need the first statement to establish relationship between Q and R, sorry, P and R. Here it will be important to establish relationship between Q and R. So R is the link between P and Q. So we need both statements. Okay, both statements are related. How is it related? Okay, so one thing is they have not given the gender of P or gender of Q. So for example, Q can be the aunt of P, Q can be the uncle of P, P can be the nephew of P can be the niece of Q. So that is why it can be answered using both statements together. Our best answer would be D, it won't be C. Question cannot be answered even using any of the statements. Next question, 65. Question number 65. P is the brother of Q and R. S is R's mother. T is P's father. How many of the following statements are true? Okay, let's map it out first. P is the brother of Q. I'm putting a plus sign to indicate male. Q and R. We don't know the genders of Q and R. S is R's mother. R is mother. So I'm just indicating woman. T is P's father. How many of the following statements are definitely true? T and S are a couple. Yes. If S is the mother, then here also I can establish a connection. S will be minus. They should be married to have this relation. So T and S are a couple. First statement is correct. Q is T's son. Q is T's son. We don't know that for certain because the gender is not revealed. T is Q's father. T is Q's father. Yes, male is there. So 1 is correct, 3 is correct. S is P's mother. S is P's mother. Yes. So 4 is correct. R is T's father. R is T's daughter. Again, we don't know that for sure. For sure, P is S's son. Yes. So 5 is correct. So 4 of the statements is correct. So answer will be only 4. Okay, next question, 66. So NO is coded as 210. NOT is coded as 4200. NOTE is coded as 21000. Then how is NOTES coded as? Okay, if you notice here, you will multiply 210 into 20. Here you have to multiply it into 5. So generally the logic will be, people think that okay, 20 then 5, then again you have to multiply it by 20 to get the answer. But the reason we have to find out why exactly you are having 20 or 5. 20, when you are adding one extra alphabet, you are multiplying it by 20. T will be the 20th letter of the alphabet. So that's why you are multiplying this by 20. E will be the fifth letter of the alphabet. That is why you're multiplying this by 5. So when you have S, you pick your R, S and then T. S will be the 19th letter of the alphabet. So you have to multiply it by 19 and not 20. If you multiply this by 19, you will get answer A as the answer. 399,000. You won't. So some people are saying answer is B, 4 zeros, but then B is not the answer. Answer will be A. 399,000. So answer for the 67th one. France. France is coded as 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Germany. Nine one five 843 7. Okay. So E is equal to 1, C is equal to 2, N is equal to 3, A is equal to 4, R5 6. R5 R5. Okay. R5 R5. E is 1, A is 4, correct. N is 3, and the remaining. G is 9. Okay. Now they're asking, how will Yemen be coded? According to the code, E is 1, E is 1, M is 8, N is 3, Y is 7. So 71813. Answer will be D. Sixty-eighth question. 68th question, 5-digit number PQRST. All distinct numbers. T is not equal to 0. P is equal to thrice of T. S is greater than Q by 4. Q is greater than R by 3. How many such 5-digit numbers are possible? Okay. So we have P, Q, R, S, T. P is equal to 3 into T. They're all distinct numbers. T is not equal to 0. That means you can have, if T is equal to 1, P is equal to 3, T is equal to 2, P is equal to 6, 3, 9. This is the only possible combination that you can have. Okay, then what else? S is greater than Q by 4. S is greater than Q by 4. That means S is equal to Q plus 4. Q is greater than R by 3. So Q is equal to R plus 3. So we will have R greater than Q greater than, R less than Q, or we'll write it the other way. Okay, R less than Q less than S. So if R is equal to 1, Q will be equal to 1 plus 3, 4, and that will be equal to, 1, 4, 8. If R is equal to 2, this will be 6, 6 plus 4, 10. 10 is not possible. S is greater than Q by 4, Q is greater than R by 3. Sorry, I made a mistake somewhere. This will be 2, 5, 5 plus 4, 9. So these are the only possible values. So if we have P, Q, R, S, T, T is equal to 1, P is equal to 3. This is one set, 1, 4, 8, not possible. You can have 259. They're all distinct numbers. Then what else? When it is 2 and 6. 148, yes. 2, 6, 259, not possible. Then 3 and 9. 148, yes. 3, 9, 259, not possible. So you have 1, 2, 3. I think you'll get another set. Let's see. Yeah. Answer should be 3A. Question number 69. Question number 69, answer is B, Bombay. Question number 70. 70, answer is C, 29. Okay, how you do it? You get 1, 3, 6, 11, 18, X and 42. Find the difference. This will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 5, this will be 7. Already you can see a pattern, it's prime numbers. So after 7, next prime number will be 11, it won't be 9. This plus this will be good, 29. Next will be 13, 13 plus 29, you will get 42. So answer will be 29. Question number 75. Okay, so they're saying one set X of 20 pipes can fill 70% of a tank in 14 minutes. That means 70 by 100 of a tank can be filled in 14 minutes. Okay, so 70 can be filled in 14, or we can shorten this. 7 can be done in 14 minutes, or for simplicity's sake, let me do it this way itself. 100 will be equal to X. Cross multiply, you will get X is equal to 100 into 14 by 70. Cancel these two, you will get 20 minutes. It will take to fill the tank. This is for X. For Y, 3 by 8 of the tank will be done in 6 minutes. So if 3 portions is done in 6 minutes, 8 portions will be done in how many minutes? X, cross multiply, you will get X is equal to 8 into 6 by 3, 16 minutes. And a third tank will be the Z. Z can empty half the tank in 20 minutes. So half the tank will empty in 20 minutes. That means it will take 40 minutes to empty the tank. Okay, now they're saying half of the pipes of X are closed, half of the pipes of Y are open. Basically, it's the same thing. It's half of the pipes of X are open, half of the pipes of Y is open, and all the pipes of Z are open. How long will it take to fill 50% of the tank? Okay, so if half the pipes of X are open, that means it will take double the time. Remember, if you are if you are reducing by half the number of pipes, you are increasing the time. So it will take 40 minutes now to fill the tank. Remember, this X and Y is for filling the tank. So this will take 32 minutes to fill the tank. This will be minus because it is emptying the tank. Okay, so now what we'll do is, in 1 minute, X plus Y plus Z, we want to see how much of the tank is getting filled up. So we'll take 1 by 40 plus 1 by 32 minus 1 by 40. So when you see this still, we'll cancel this. We will get 1 by 32. That means in 1 minute, 1 by 32 parts of the tank will get filled up. So how long will it take to fill the full tank? Full tank, it will take, just bring this to the numerator, it will take 32 minutes. Now they're asking how long will it take to fill half the tank. Half the tank means half the time. That is 16 minutes. Answer will be D. Okay, we'll go to the 76th one. If n is a natural number, then what is the number of distinct reminders of 1 to the power n plus 2 to the power of n? Okay. To do this, again, simple substitution. 1 to the power of n plus 2 to the power of n. Let us take n is equal to 1. When n is equal to 1, 1 to the power of 1 will be 1, 2 to the power of 1 will be 2, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. When divided by 4, remainder will give you 3. They are asking number of distinct reminders. Okay. So when n is equal to 2, 1 to the power of 2 will give you 1, 2 to the power of 2 will give you 4, 4 plus 1 5, remainder 1. When n is equal to 3, same thing. 1 to the power of 1 will give you 1, 2 to the power of 3 will give you 8, 8 plus 1 9, 9 by 4 will give you 1. N is equal to 4, 1 plus 8 is 16, 17, remainder 1. So generally if you see, all the remainders are 1 except for 1. When it is 1, remainder will give you 3. So they're asking number of distinct remainders, answer will be 2. Most of it will give you 1, but just because we're having this one, we're having 2 types of remainders. Answer will be C, 2. Okay. Question number 77. So 77, let P is equal to QQQ be a 3-digit number. What is the HCF of P and 481? So P is some value QQQ. It's a 3-digit number. So you don't know what this one is. Each one is a distinct number between it's a distinct number between probably 1 and 9. It can't be 0 because it will be a 2-digit number. So if it is of this means, we can definitely write it as 1, 1, 1 to the whole power of x. So say if this number is equal to 2, q is equal to 2, then it will be 2, 2, 2. We can also write it as 1, 1, 1 to the whole into 2. If it is 5, 5, 5, then it will be 1, 1, 1 into 5. So all numbers you can represent as 1, 1, 1 into x. So they're asking what is the HCF of 481 and 111. So what we'll do is we'll find out the 111, what is the numbers that divided. Again, remember 111, they've been asking this in the past years as well. We'll have to know it by heart. 37 is one of the factors of 111. If you know that, immediately you can go get to the answer. If not, you'll have to keep doing multiplication and trying to find out. They've asked us in the past also 111, 1001, these kind of distinct numbers. Okay, so ensure that you go through past year question papers. It will help you in the successive exams as well. So divide this by 3, 3 threes are 9, 2, 1, 7. So 37. So 37 into 3. So we can try this number. Is this number divisible by 3? No, it's not. We'll try for 37. 481 divided by 37. 1s are 37. 111. 111 means 37 into 3 into 13. So 37 is the highest common factor for this number. Answer will be C. Okay, 78th one. '78, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on till 9, then 10, 11, 12. They're asking what is the 489th number, 489th digit. Okay, so what we'll do is let's break this down. 1 to 9, we have 1 to 9, we have 9 digits. Then what we'll have 10, let's take 10 to 19. 10 to 19, we'll have 9 plus 1, 2. So 9 into 2 will give you 18. Same thing will continue for say 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and so on till 90 to 99. Okay, so I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 into 18. So if you want to find out the full thing, 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18, you simply do 18 into 9. So you'll have around 162. They're asking 489th. Next, after that, we'll get to 100. 100 to 999. Okay. So let's do 100 to 199. We'll have the same. 3. We'll have 100 digits into 3, which is 300. 300 plus 162 plus 9, 471. So up to 199 will give you 471. Sorry, this will be 10, it won't be 9. We'll get 20. 20 into 9 is 180. Okay, so 20, so from 10 to 9 we'll have 20 digits. So each will be 2. 10 to 9 is actually 10 digits and not 9 digits. So 10 into 2 digits will give you 20. 20 into 9 times will give you 180. Once you get to 100, we'll ignore this. 100 to 199 will give you exactly 300 digits. So correctly it comes to 489. So that means this last digit will be the 489th digit. That will be 9. Answer is D, Delhi. 79th question. Okay, 79th is an interesting question. We can actually solve it using Boolean. Okay, so a mobile phone has been stolen. 3 suspects are there, P, Q, and R. They are questioned, knowing that only one of them is guilty. Their responses are as follows. So let's take it as it is. P says, I did not steal it. That means it's not P. Q stole it. That means Q is right. Q stole it. Q is R did not steal it. I stole it. Sorry, R did not steal it. I did not steal it. R said, I did not steal it. I don't know who stole it. Let's read that. Okay. So 3 people sold the statements, their statements. One of them is lying. 2 of them is telling the truth. We have to find out who is the liar. So let us assume first that P is the liar. Okay. If P is the liar, whenever you have P is the liar, anything that he says will be inverted. That means if he is a liar means, or he'll only say opposite of what is true. So if P says I did not steal it, that means he stole it. If he says Q stole it, that means Q did not steal it. Okay. So when we invert it, we'll get P stole it, Q did not steal it. Remember, we're taking P as the liar. That means the other two will be as it is. Here it is not R, it is not Q. Here it will be not R. So what we want to find out is, in the statements, is there consistency? If it's not R here, it should be not R here. If it's not Q here, it should be not Q here. If it is P here, it can't be not P here. If that is the case, means P can't be the liar. Okay, that is the logic of Boolean. So here, it actually the logic works out. Both it's not R, both it's not Q, it is P. That means P is the liar. We can stop at that and get A as the answer, but we'll try the other two also just to check and see. So if Q is the liar, P will bring it like it is. P, not P, and Q. Q is the liar means everything will be inverted. It will be R, it will be Q, and not R. Now you can see here, you can't have not R and R existing at the same time. It's inconsistent. You can't have, so Q is existing in both sides, it's fine. But then not P also is fine. But then this is what causes a friction. That means Q can't be the liar. So R will have not P and Q, not R, not Q, and R. Again here, not Q is existing, not R is existing, and not P is there. So we can't really find out the answer. So it can't be Q, it can't be R, P is the liar. Answer is A. Okay, so last question, 80th question. Three teams, P, Q, and R, participated in a tournament in which the teams play with one another exactly once. A win fetches a team 2 points. So win is 2 points, draw is 1 point. Each team plays once. Team gets 0 points for loss. Each team scores exactly 1 goal in the tournament. P got 3 points, Q got 2 points. So P got 3 points, Q got 2 points, R got 1 point. So from this itself we can say that R drew 1 game. That's the only way it got 1 point. It has to play 2 games, that means it lost 1 game. If maximum points is 2 means P should have won one game and drawn another game. That's the only way it gets to 3 points. If it wins both the games, it will get 4 points. If it wins one game, loses one game, it will get 2 points. Right? So this is what Q did. Q can either draw both games or win one, lose one. So here 2 possibilities are there. So the best logic will be PQ, QR, PR. So most likely P and R would have been the draw. P and Q would be P winning, Q losing, and here it will be Q winning. So if that is the case, means Q won one game, so this will be +2, this will be +2, this will be 1, 1. Correct? So P is getting 2 points, +1, 3 points. Just put plus 3 points. Q is getting 2 points, R is getting 1 point. Okay, fine. So we satisfied, we got that condition. It can't be 2 draws, it has to be win and loss. Now we have to find out the score. If P is winning against Q means it should have won 1-0 because everyone scores only 1 goal. If P is drawing against R means P has to get 0, R has to get 0. If Q is winning against R means Q has to get 1, R has to get 0. But the problem with this is R is not scoring any goals. What we can otherwise do is to go for 2 draws where Q and R are drawing, P is winning against R and P and Q are drawing 0-0. So Q has drawn 2 games, so it will be +1, +1, this will be +1, this will be +2 and 0, +1. Okay, in this case R is getting 1 point, Q is getting 2 points, P is getting 3 points. P is winning 2 points, sorry, 1-0, drawing 1-1 and drawing 0-0. So it satisfies all conditions. Now we look at the question. Result of the match between P and Q is a draw with the scores 0-0. P and Q drawing 0-0, yes. The number of goals scored by R against Q is 1. R against Q is 1, it's a draw match. So both, the first is correct, the second is correct, both 1 and 2 is correct. Answer will be C. Okay, so that is all about the quants and reasoning part of the CSAT paper in 2025. I hope it was enlightening and useful. For more such videos, please subscribe to MCC IAS Academy. Okay, thank you.